Hey, book lovers, book readers, book friends. It's me, LaShonda, and I'm coming back to you to tell you about the best book that I read for the month of March. But this time, y'all, I have not one, not two, but three books that captured my complete attention for March, and they were just freaking awesome. So it was hard for me to decide. But let me tell you about them and see what if you can guess which one it is that was my favorite book for the month of March. So first up was Love and Hate Crimes by LaShell Collins, and it is a romantic suspense. Love and Hate Crimes is book number 10 in the series. So that lets you know right now that I am fully invested because I have read up all the books. I am caught up. But Love and Hate Crimes it's romantic suspense, and it is the story about Detective Isaac Taylor and his love, Sydney. Detective Isaac Taylor just happens to be psychic. He has these abilities. And through this series, it's from both point of views, but mostly you're learning about Isaac and how he's learning to deal with his gifts. But there was something about this book that just really captured my heart. Like, I found myself just kind of teary-eyed, like, oh my God, what's going to happen? Because this was the first book where real life kind of was written into the story, right? Because it was about hate crimes. These guys were going around, hurting minorities, not just African Americans. They didn't discriminate. They was, hurting everybody that was not white. And for the first time, that kind of infringed on their relationship because Isaac is white and Sydney is black. But how LaShell wrote this, she wrote it with humor. She wrote it with heart. She wrote it where Isaac just becomes more and more endearing to you, but you also just, I don't know, it just grabbed me. It grabbed me by my heart, and I enjoyed every single page of it. But this series is the Isaac Taylor Mysteries, and you would not be remiss if you went and you started reading it like right now. You will binge the whole series because it's that fabulous. So that was book one that I read. Book two that I read was by Goal by Alexandria House. And Alexandria House really and truly cannot do no wrong. Like, I have not read anything by her that I was like, girl, what was you writing? Everything that she writes is just fire. And it has different, it always has humor. It always has the sexy, but Goal to me had heart. And it is the story of Nuri and Monique. First of all, I love her name. Nuri was down on her luck. Like, she experienced some trauma that just really threw her life off. And she was down on her luck, and she answers an ad for a nanny. And there she meets Monique. Monique is a black hockey player. So, plot twist right there, right? And so she gets hired as the nanny for Monique, and neither one of them expected the chemistry between them. But plot twist, Monique has a fiance, and she's a hoe. She's a hoe witch. She is. So this book, Monique saves Nuri in a sense, but Nuri also saves him. And it is about love. It's about family. It's about, when you know, you know. And it is funny. It has the sexy, but it also has the heart, because there's so many things happening in this book. Not just, him playing his games, because I did learn about hockey, but there's so much that's happening. And I could not put this book down until I got to the end. And then I was like, oh, but okay. It was freaking amazing. And that's Gold by Alexandria House. The last book that I read is by one of my authors who's becoming one of my favorites, because she knows how to write a book with these male characters that are slightly thuggish, but they're thuggish professionals. Yeah, I'm talking about you, Monique. And the book is The Body Hunter, by Monique. And it is about Joshua and Jasmine. And Joshua is this bounty hunter, and Jasmine is pretty much on the run for her life. And they just so happen to meet in this diner where someone comes for her, and he ends up saving her. And it just progresses from there. He takes her under his protection, and when he finds out who she is, he's like, oh snap. Yeah, because he's the bounty hunter. But they call him the body, and they call him the body for the reason, for more than one. This book was so suspenseful. It was intense to me. It wasn't overly sexy. It was kind of low-key sexy, but it wasn't like overly sexy some of the other books. But again, I love the story. I love the pace. I love the suspense, the drama of it. Like when things come to a head, and I was like, ooh, girl, no you didn't. But again, Monique, she writes these male characters that you just like, I was swooning. I was like, let me run into the body hunter. Don't make me move down to Pensacola, Florida looking for this man who don't exist in real life, but that's what she does. So those were my 3 books. It was The Body Hunter by Monique. It was Gold by Alexandria House, and Love and Hate Crimes by LaShell Collins. Do you know which one was my favorite? Do you know? Can you tell? You just want me to tell you? Okay, fine. My favorite book from March was Gold by Alexandria House. Again, this book, it had me. It had me from page 1 until the end. Okay, 1, a black hockey player where apparently there's some in real life, but okay, I don't know anything about hockey. Cool. 2, it was the plot twist that was thrown in, with Malik and why he needed to hire a nanny. No, he wasn't a baby daddy. The drama between him and his fiance, that witch had me cursing at the book. And just the love, the how everything just happened with him and Nuri. That was just so organic, and it was so real. It just, like, I just waited for the bottom to fall out, because Houseway, how do you meet the nanny and you just immediately know that she's the one? But this book, again, it had humor, it had the drama, it had the sexy. I learned about hockey, and just overall, this book just gave me the feels. And if you know what the feels, you know what the feels are when you just like, ugh, and you got to tell the people, yeah, it was that. Again, Alexandra House does not miss. And this book, part of I think it's the St. Louis Sire series. If I messed it up, Alexandria, I'm sorry. I was not paying attention to that little part. I was paying attention to the story. But it is part of a series, and it is book 1. But don't let that throw you. Read this book, and read this book now, because it is just freaking, it's awesome. So those were my books for March. I gave you my favorite. I'm going to put the links in the comments so you can click on it and get it. And if you read any of these books, put it in the comments and let me know. I want to know your thoughts. I want to know, were you caught up like me, or were you like, girl, do we need part 2? Let's talk about it. So put your comments down there. And remember, sharing is caring. So please share this video. Tell your friends. I'm here. I'm doing these book reviews. And if you want to join my book community, we're over on Facebook at Read This Book Chat Room. We would love to see you, because right now we have the A to Z book challenge happening. And that is pretty much, we are reading a book that corresponds with every letter of the alphabet. And so that is fun and exciting, trying to find books that start with the letter K. Like, help me out here, people. So it's an interesting challenge, and that's what we have going on right now. But join us. You know where to find me. I'm everywhere at Read This Book. And this has been my video for March. Until next time, book friends, read a good book.